Alright, so welcome to this tutorial. This time I'm going to show you how to use the w3 responsive grid and how you can use it. Now I advise you to pay a very out attention in this section because it is very important. You're going to build a responsive web page that you know how to use the responsive grid. It is very important. Imagine if you have a web page and you want to build a web page with columns, maybe 3 columns, 4 columns, and now you build the web page, and at last when your web page is built on a small devices, on mobile devices, it couldn't be displayed well because you didn't set it responsive. Now you can design a web page, I'm telling you, in just a matter of just 1 hour if you know how to use the w3 framework very well. You'll be able to set a responsive layout without stress. You all know how to create a responsive website without stress, without taking more time. It's just the mastery of responsive grids and layout on my website. So let's get started with this. Now I will use the w3 school platform to explain it to you. And this responsive grid, as you can see the image in front of you, and there is first of all, in w3 css they made sure that the screen is grouped into 12 columns. As you can see, this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Now if I resize this, can you see how it behaves? Can you see what happens immediately? Now this is the work of grid, and that's what will happen to your web page when it is built on smaller screens. Now this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Now this part will occupy from 1 to 3. It will occupy 12 columns on a small screen, 4 on a medium screen, and 3 on a large screen. I want you to get that right, but you will not understand until we do some examples. And from 4 to 12, this part will occupy 12 columns on a small screen, and 8 on a medium screen, and 9 on a large screen. Don't struggle to understand this part, just follow me. Now you come here and you write w3 as we were doing before, w3 and you put columns, w3 column. Now instead of you to specify the width, and that you want, and maybe you want 150 pixels, and for your column, instead of you to be specifying it, just specify maybe M4, which represents medium 4, M8 represents medium 8, L3 represents large 3, L9 represents large 9. Now let me try to save so that you can see the effect of the code. Now you can see how M1 works. M1. Can you see that now? Can you see it? Now I've told you already, don't stress yourself in understanding this at all. Now you have already understand how to use these responsive rules. Don't forget. If you have forgotten, go back to the format teaching and try to understand it. Now columns for small screens, columns for medium screens, columns for large screens. Now I will advise you that if you want to use this, don't bother yourself in specifying columns for large screens, columns for small screens. If you want to use if you want to use the S category, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5 to S11 or S12, you just use only that in making your columns. If you want to use the M category, all of them are responsive in the same way. So if you want to use the M category, this medium screen category, you can use just only that. Don't combine it with maybe M1 and MS, no, and S. Don't come out with M1 and S for no M or S. No, just use just S. And if you want to use the large auto, also the same thing applies. Both all of them will create responsive screens. Now look at this. Can you see S6 S6? What happens? 50% here, 50% here, 50% column, 50% column. Can you see this now? This is a container. Can you see? Even though it is small screens, even though I'm expanding the screen, the window, what are you saying? It is expanding too. And can you see on small screens it works? Can you see how it works on small screen? It is responsive. Now if what you want is that you want it instead of it reducing on small screens, you want it to be returned back to block level, then you should use something like maybe M1, M2, M6, the M category. And if you want it to be on block level in the medium window, you have to use the large category. I hope you get that now. So you can pause this video so that you can see how the code is written and master it well. That's your responsibility. Can you see S3 and S9? That's 25% and 75%. The same thing here. S4 33.3%. All the percentage adds up to 100%. If you make your own percentage and it is more than 100%, you will have an irresponsive site. Are you getting that now? So you can also make 3 unequal columns. Now let's see the M category, how they work. This M1, M6, M3. Can you see it here? M1, M2, M1, M6, M3, w3 green, dark red. Then let's see. Now on smaller screen, on larger screens, can you see how it is widening up? Now can you see what becomes of it now? It becomes a block level element when it is on smaller screens. On medium screens, it is at this level. Now it's at the inline level. Now on smaller screens, what can you remember? Do you remember what I said the other time? Now that if you want it to be on block level on smaller screens, you should use the M category, and if you want it to be on block level on medium screens, you should use the large category. So that's a strategic way to use it. Don't combine M and M category, the medium size category, and the smaller size category together. It won't work. Alright, here's another example to note. This mixed mobile and laptop. Okay, that is, this example is just to mix mobile and laptop, the large screen size and the small screen size to get together, so that if you view it on a large screen, it will be on inline level as this. If you view it on medium screens, it will be on inline level, and if you view it on small screens to be on inline level. And why is that? Because here it is specified that X is L to L10. So they already specify the screen size for large screens already and for small screens. So whenever this web page is being built and you view it on the smaller screens, what it will use will be S6 and S8. It will not refer to this again. So you can use it like that if that is what your preferences calls for. Let's move on to the next thing. Mobile. Okay, can you see mobile tablets and laptops? I hope you get that. It's the same thing to specified for large screens, smaller screens, and it all depends on whatever you want and how much you want them, how you want them look like on smaller screens. Don't forget to use the w3grid padding, and you can use w3grid too with it. You can use percentage by yourself in specifying columns. This is how to use that percentage by yourself. That's all. So in summary and in conclusion, I would advise you to master this place. Make sure you master this place. Make sure you understand it. And if you have any question, don't forget to ask me. Thank you for watching this tutorial. See you in the next tutorial.